Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. We have just seen Tyler Denny successfully defend his European middleweight title against Felix Cash in a fight that was stopped in the fifth round due to a cut on Felix, one of Felix Cash's eyes, and we went to the scorecards, and Tyler Denny was a clear winner despite only four full rounds being boxed. A clear winner. No, bit of an anticlimax, but we've had an upset tonight. I hate to say it. We did the final prediction video yesterday. One of us picked Tyler Denny, one of us didn't, but we're not. We'll move on from that. What did you make of what we've seen tonight, Niall?
Yeah, first of all, just I think echo all of us in saying it's a real shame. Always not good to see a fight end that way, especially so early on. It's unfortunate, I kind of enjoyed the fight. It was very scrappy, but it was a bit more entertaining than I thought than I thought it might have been, to be honest. So it is a shame. But in terms of the fight itself. I think it just kind of sped up the inevitable. I think Tyler Denny was on his way to a victory there. He looked more confident, his timing was much better. Cash looked like a kind of well, it was a strange game plan from Felix Cash, but
Mm.
I just think Tyler Denny was deservedly ahead and he was going to win that fight quite widely. Maybe even squeeze a stoppage in, who knows, but it was one-way traffic there, really.
Yeah, for sure. I think confidence is the key word that you use there. Really kind of resonates with me. Tyler Denny, he was going up against a Felix Cash. Cash can punch. He's got some highlight reel knockouts in his career. And so it surprised me that Tyler Denny went in with that sort of confidence, but he was right to do so. I've got two questions for you now. First one, um, Felix Cash, as we said yesterday, and bit 'cause he's not been very active, has he? Kind of the last couple of years. Do you think could you see inactivity within him tonight? Do you think that kind of played a part in the fact that he hasn't won tonight?
I can. I do think it played a part, and yeah, just to touch on our prediction video, we did speak about it, and it was a big concern, but you could see it, I think, in the way he approached the fight in terms of game plan, and he looked rusty. He looked every bit a man who's been out of the ring for a couple of years, well, 18 months, 2 years, and we always say inactivity is the worst thing for a fighter, and it was a case here of one fighter was majorly inactive, and one fighter is riding the confidence, as you say, of plenty of activity, and it showed there tonight. It's just yeah, it was a strange way he approached the fight. Cash, I was surprised, and I was surprised that he started so kind of intensely, I suppose, pushed that kind of a heavy pace from the start. I thought he was going to be more setting traps and more conservative, especially to save a gas tank. And obviously, we seen yesterday at the weigh-in as well that he really struggled to make the weight. He really boiled himself down, and I think you could see it in there, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Just to touch on the scorecards, 49-47 twice and 49-46. So all scorecards for Tyler Denny. Noel, if the cut, I know we're kind of this is kind of we're saying, if my auntie had different equipment, she'd be my uncle here. But I'm gonna ask you, if the cut hadn't happened, we were still in the early stage of the fight. It was a 12 round contest tonight. What where was your at the end of kind of the fourth round? If you take the cut out of your mind, where was your head at in terms of where you saw it going? It's still in the early stage of the fight. What were your thoughts?
It was heading for a Tyler Denny win for me. And I think a lot of people would say the same there, to be honest with you. He just looked much sharper. He looked his timing was much better than Felix Cash. He was picking his shots well, some really, really big shots on Felix Cash, especially the left hook, the peach of a left hook just before I think it was a round four, I believe, that had Cash really, really buzzed. Yeah, he just looked sharper. He looked he was just better kind of all around than Felix Cash, and he was hard to pin down himself cleanly, so awkward and so slippery. So I think Denny was on his way to, I think I'd have to say a wide points win, but he was landing huge shots on Cash, the left hook as I mentioned. So I think it's very possible he could have got a stoppage there with judging on the first 4 rounds and the kind of how heavy those shots were. But yeah, Denny was going to win that for me. He was on his way to a points decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with you. I think it's strange to say it, but yeah, I just think it was hard to Cash didn't look didn't really look himself tonight, and it was Tyler Denny's night, and credit to him. I wish we had had more of a I'm going to say, a kind of a better finish, but we didn't, and that's how that's boxing sometimes. What happens next for both, Niall? Tyler Denny, look, it's a fantastic story. I saw Tyler Denny fight Linus Udoka at York Hall quite a long time ago for the English title, and he lost. So to see him go from that to defending his European title in the main event in Birmingham on live on the zone tonight is fantastic to see. Any idea what he's going to do next? Nathan Heaney and Brad Pauls face each other next month for the British title. The winner of that fight is possibly an option. Um, could possibly defend his European title. I don't know. I just feel like there's so many kind of exciting options here. What kind of what kind of names spring to your mind? I mean, um, Hamza Shearaz and Chris Eubank Jr. are seen as the two best middleweights that the UK has to offer. I'm not convinced he's going to go near them, but feel free to disagree with me. What do you think he's going to do next?
Yeah, I might sound like a bit of a hypocrite here in terms of what I said on our prediction video of Cash being levels above him, but I think I was really impressed with Tyler Denny tonight, and I do think he is a handful for most middleweights now. To be honest, I think he's really real quality and really tricky, real tricky operator. He give people problems, and as you mentioned, he's a different fighter since the Udofia losses. He's come a long way since then. So, in terms of what's next, there is interesting options there. The Heaney, Paul's winner. Um, I could see if Heaney comes through that, I could see that happening. I really could. Possibly in the stadium in Stoke. That'd be the next logical step for Nathan Heaney to challenge for a European title if he wins the Brad Pauls rematch. And of course, he's already fought Brad Pauls. He's beat Brad Pauls already. So they are a couple of interesting options. Shiraz Eubank, as you mentioned, but there's a name that kind of came to my mind there, and I don't know. It might be a bit of a random one, but you mentioned Shiraz. What about maybe Amo Williams, Tyler Denny? Who knows for Amo Williams' comeback fight? Of course, there was the talk of Amo Williams fighting Felix Cash a couple of years back. That never came to fruition. Now, why not put him in with Tyler Denny? If Tyler Denny can beat him more convincingly, Shiraz stopped him. But if he can widely outpoint him and beat him better than Shiraz did, that's a big statement. Williams is still a quality win to having a record. So that's what I'd say. I'd go Amo Williams, Tyler Denny for a bit of a random one because I don't think he's
Mm.
ready for world titles yet. Anyway, I definitely don't think Tyler Denny's ready for world titles, but
No.
he'd give a lot of people
Yeah,
a handful like he really would.
yeah, and no disrespect, but like the fact you're even saying Tyler Denry and world titles in the same sentence is
Mm.
crazy to me. Like this is someone who has kind of has drawn to journeyman, has kind of lost to guys below British level. So the fact you're even saying that is incredible, really. It's an amazing story, and I'm excited to see what Tyler Denny does next. He's always been really good to us at ESBR, doing interviews at shows, press conferences, Zoom calls. So congratulations to him. We'll end things now just on Felix Cash. What do you think? First loss of his career. I don't like writing people off when they've had one loss. 31 years old now, so he's at a kind of a pivotal moment in his career. What do you think he needs to do? What do you think he's going to do?
Yeah, I think the the wheels have kind of come off a bit for Felix Cash. As you mentioned, we don't like writing people off after one defeat. But the signs were there long before the defeat. It's not just come kind of out of the blue. I know he was a favourite tonight, but with the inactivity, looking poor in his last couple of fights, even before tonight, 18 months, 2 years ago, he looked really poor. He's as he hit his kind of ceiling now, as you say, 31, just past his prime, maybe. We've seen the best days of Felix Cash. In terms of what he has to do, at the very least, I think he has to move up now. He has to move up to 168. Way too big for the weight. Seeing it yesterday at the weigh-in, way too drained. Hadn't made it in a long time. You touched on it in our prediction video. He actually didn't need to even make weight the last time he fought 18 months ago. So he needs to move up now a weight division at the very least. But he needs to remain active as well. No more inactivity. Try to find some sort of partnership with Adam Buell, what he can get out of him. It's their first fight together tonight. Let's not forget. So see how that goes. But in terms of the levels that he can get to now, it's hard to see it. It really is. I think he's seen his best days. Unfortunately, should have done more maybe. But yeah, I think he's definitely seen better days. Maybe it could be a Felix Cash against Nathan Heaney or Brad Pauls for the British title. Maybe that could be an avenue Cash could go down next, but I can't see him getting much higher than that at this stage of his career, which is it's a pity and it's a weird thing to say because I really expected big things of him, to be honest. So it's a shame.
Yeah, it is. I think he's looked very good at times in his career, but I think Andy Lee said it I think he said it in the first or second round. Inactivity kills momentum, or that might have not been the exact same. He said something like that, and
Yeah,
it's right. You can't not fight and then kind of return against someone who has momentum and has been active and kind of expect a good performance possibly. So we'll leave it at there. Congratulations to Tyler Denny, still the European champion. Hope to see Felix Cash back in a big fight in the next 12 months. But as you said, and I will do agree with you, he needs to be active. Hope to see him again, kind of ideally kind of September, October time, but we shall see. Now, thank
yeah.
you for your time as always, and I will speak to you again very soon.
Thanks. Take care.